Hello everyone, welcome to SaaS with ServiceNow. This is a short demo of development and testing in ServiceNow. In this demo, you will learn how you can perform the development in ServiceNow for the requirement you get from your customers and clients, how you can create a test case for that particular requirement, and how you can convert that test case into automated test case with automated test framework in ServiceNow. You must be getting requirement from your customers and clients via Jira or a story. And that story should definitely have acceptance criteria, which is also a requirement. So similarly, we also have a requirement and acceptance criteria for this demo, which we will perform the development and we will also perform the testing for this requirement. Now the requirement is given user navigates to create new under incident. When user clicks on module, the new incident form is opened with mandatory fields highlighted, configuration item and channel. Overall, these two fields should be mandatory while submitting the new incident form. Second requirement is given user fill the details of new incident form with CI, that is configuration item. When user submits or save the incident, then incident should be created and assignment group should be populated as support group of CI, that is configuration item selected on incident. So this is the requirement and we are going to perform the development in our personal developer instance. So let's perform the development first so that we can create a manual test case and we can also convert that manual test case to automation with automated test framework. So let's start the development. This is my personal developer instance. So we will directly go to incident module. So I will type incident. Here we have incident module. I will click on create new. When I will click on create new, it will open up the new form of incident. As you can see, we only have caller and short description fields as mandatory fields when incident form is loaded. As per the requirement, we have to make configuration item field and channel field as mandatory. So what we will do that? So basically we will create a UI policy. So I will right click on the header, go to configure and I will go to UI policies. If I click on UI policies, it will give me the list of UI policies. I will click on new so that I can create a new UI policy. And I will come here, I will make CI and channel mandatory. And I want these fields to be mandatory on load. So I will just click on save. So I'm just saving this UI policy and then I'm going to create UI policy action. So I will click on this new button so that I can create a new UI policy action. I will select this. I will select that field, which is channel, and I will select mandatory true and I will click on submit. So our first UI policy action is created. I will now create second one, which is for configuration item. I will select here and I will select configuration item, which is right here, and I will make it true and I will submit it. So second UI policy action is also created. Now here you can see some difference that contact type, which is the channel label, which is a field. You can see there's no red color on that, but you have this red color on CMDB CI. The reason behind it, because there should be some another UI policy action applied to the same field. That's the reason it is showing this red color. But we are not going to resolve it right now because we are just doing this development for demo. So let me just click on create new and see if it is working. So as a developer, after performing the development, I will definitely check if the same functionality, the same requirement is developed or not. So as part of the acceptance criteria, channel and configuration item should be mandatory. So this is our first requirement, first user story. Now, second user story or second requirement we have is basically if I select configuration item here, any configuration item, maybe I select this one. Now, when I will select that, assignment group should automatically populated on client. This is the requirement. So if I select here, and it should definitely have some assignment group. Maybe I will just open that record. Let me check that. It's opening that record. So whatever configuration I select, so it has assigned to, but what about the support group? I think it doesn't have that support group. Maybe I will go back and I will just check if it is available. I will just maybe mention cmdb underscore ci dot list. And if I do that, and we have that field as CI support group. So let's check that support group. Yes, we have this support group. If I click on OK, so I think a lot of configuration item does not have these support group, but let me just filter this out, empty one. So we do have lot of configuration items. Those also have this support group available. So we will select these CIs on our incident form for testing. So what I will do now, I will just perform the development. That's our first task, to complete the development for the requirement we have got from our customers and clients as part of this demo. So I will go to incident form, create new. Now this is something, basically the requirement which has to be populated on client. That means if I select, that means I get the data from server by selecting configuration item. That means it will do a query to the server, and then it will fetch the support group, the field of configuration item, and then it will populate that on this assignment group. But how can we do this? We can do this with client script and script include, and with the help of Glide Ajax. So let me do this first. So I will just go to client script and I will create a new client script. It should be on change client script because we are changing the configuration item on the form. So here I will just mention populate dot assignment dot group dot ci, and I can just select all. Here I will select on change field. I will select configuration item. So we have selected this one, and here's our script. So I will just zoom. So now I will go to the script section where we will write the script, because we definitely have to write the script. So now how exactly we will do the scripting? We will use Glide Ajax. So what I will do, where I will make it bigger. So here I will basically mention where GA GA group. So this is basically the variable name we are taking. I will just mention new glide Ajax. Now here we will put basically the script include, the name of script include. So as of now I don't have that script include name. I can just mention here where I can mention GA, not where. I can just GA group dot add param. Here the first one will be sysperm name, and here we will provide the name of the function, and maybe I will put get support group. This will be the function. Maybe I will do this support. I think we can just mention get CI details. Get CI details. That will be our script include, and then we have this function name. I'm just putting it this before. Then I can just mention ga.group add param. Now we definitely want to send, because how will I fetch the details of that particular CI? I need to send some data first, and that data would be sysID of that particular CI, which you will select on incident form. So for that I will just mention sysperm, and here I will just mention sysperm underscore CI. Now what that particular ID would be, how exactly I will fetch that. Now for that I can do one thing. So I will create a variable first. Variable will be CI ID equal to g underscore form dot get value, and that will be cmdb underscore CI. So I will get the sysID of the configuration item selected, and I will just copy this one and I will put it comma here. So this will be the sysID, CI ID, and now I can just mention semicolon, and here I will just mention GA dot, and we have to do get XML. Don't do get XML wait, because we definitely want asynchronous. And here I can basically provide the function. So it is get group callback. I can provide this function, and now I can also mention this function here. So function, and here we have this one, and I will just mention response, not semicolon, and I will just do where answer equal to response dot response XML dot document element dot get attribute, and then in bracket I can put answer, and I will just do semicolon, and then now here I definitely have to, this answer will definitely have the value of that support group. So what I will do now, I will just now create that script include, which will be client callable script include. How would I do that? I will just go here and I will search for script include, and here I have this script include. I will create in a new tab, Here I have this new button, and I can just provide the same name. So I can just go to here, CI details, copy. I will give this CC tab, and I will make it client callable. Now here I definitely have to provide details. So this CI details, and I can just mention it is basically client callable, and I can just mention like this. So here I can provide that, and that will be our get support function. So I will provide this get support function here. And how will I do that? I just have to declare like this function, and comma. Now here I will definitely execute the query so that I can get that data, because that is really more important. So how will I do that? So in this case, I definitely have to do the query on CMDB CI table. So what I will do, GA, it's GR this time, glide record, but it's GR get CI, or maybe I will just put GRCI equal to new glide record, and here is CMDB underscore CI. That's a table name, and I will mention VR, not VR, it will be GRCI dot add query, and it will be sys underscore ID. And what is that ID? So basically I can just mention that first. So we have CI, or I will just mention CI ID equal to, I will just mention this dot get. This is how you can get the value which will be sent via client script. So it will be get parameter, I think spelling is correct, and here you have to provide that name which you have used in your client script, and that is this one, sysperm CI. So I will go here and I will mention that. So semicolon. So now here I can definitely provide CI ID, and I can just mention semicolon, and I can just put grci dot query. So it will do the query, and I can just do if, because we will definitely fetch only one record. So if grci dot next okay, it's grid. That's the reason it is not coming. It's not, it's grid, and here again grid dot, that's okay, it's not coming here, but that's fine. So we have mentioned if, and what we will do, I will just align this code. So we have this empty. Now what I will do, if we found the record, then we will basically mention CI, or I will just mention configuration ID equal to, and that will be grid dot, and I think we will basically go to cmdb underscore ci dot list. Okay, it will take me to the different page, but what I will do, I will just open it in a new tab. If I go here, and I can just open this in a new tab. It's very big, and I just open this one now. I will just do, or maybe I will just do config, or list is also fine. I will get those records, and now here basically I will go to configure, and I will go to table directly. So you can see this. So I want to see that support group field. I want to see the name of that support group. So if I type this, here we have that support group. And okay, so the backend name is support group only. So I can just copy this, go to my script include, and paste it here, and you are done. It will basically return what exactly it will return? SysID of the support group. So we have var configuration item equal to gr id dot support group, and I can now return this because this is what you have to return. So I can just return this, and you are done. So I will just save this now. So your script include is created, and if I go to client script, I will just unpin this, and I will make a little bit big as well so that you can read the script. So we have that value here, get group callback, and we have this answer, and now here we have to set the value. So I will just mention g underscore form dot set value. When you set the value, it has to be a field name, value, and display value as well. So field name should be assignment underscore group. That's a field name. And here I will just put the ID. Now, definitely I have got the ID, which will be answer. Here, normally, I think you should also populate the display value. But if you don't have display value, that's still fine. So we will leave as is for now. And I will just, but overall, as per the recommendation or standards, you should definitely put the value as well. So I will just do underscore set value. This is done. Assignment group done. And now I'm going to save this. I will save this. So our new client script is also created. So now I will go to incident. So maybe I will do it from here. But I also need to check that which one has that support group. So I will just filter it out. We have this Apache Linux, this one. So I will make sure that I select this particular record, and I will click on create new. So it's opening the new form, and you can see our channel, and this one is mandatory. So I will select, I will maybe mention test, and here I will select this one, and I will just mention this. And if I select this, yes, you can see the magic already happened, and I can select the channel. So you can see then when I selected configuration item, it automatically populated assignment group. This was not happening before. If I will disable my client script, So this is my client script. Let's say I disable this. So we are just validating that it is working properly. So I will just reload the form. If you will reload the form, and this time if I will put, let's say, same configuration item, if I select this, you can see it is not populating assignment group at all. The reason is because our client script is disabled. So let me enable this. So overall, you had two different requirements. One is to make the fields mandatory, and another one is to automatically populate assignment group. So you are done with the development now. Now, how you can create the test case? We are done with the development. So now we will create manual test case for the same requirement. Now, how you can create a test case? So ServiceNow provides an application called test management. So if you click on here all and you type test, you will see this application called test management. You will see another application as well with the same name. However, that's another version, that is test management 2.0. So it's up to you which one you want to use. Test management 2.0 is definitely the latest version of test management. But as per your requirement, as per your objective, if you want to use test management 1.0, that is also totally fine. However, in this demo, I will show you that how you can create a test case in test management 2.0. So I will go to test, and here basically out of the box test already created. I will click on create new, and I will provide the short description. So which is validate new form. This is something validation of a new form. Validate incident new form. So we are going to validate incident new form, and I will just click on save. So it will save this particular test. Now I can just provide the test steps. So here I will start with basically login or impersonate as an ITIL user. Impersonate as an ITIL user. That's our first step. Then I will just move next step. And here, so if this is our test step, it needs verification. No, we don't need any kind of verification. Or maybe you can just mention if you're able to log in, if you can do that, if you're able to impersonate, but that's fine. I will leave this one. So I will just mention test step, impersonate as an ITIL user. And the next one is, then we have you can go to incident module, and then click on create new, and then CI and channel fields, or maybe you should put all the 4 fields. So CI, or maybe we will start with contact. I think that is caller. So we will mention caller, CI, channel, and short description fields should be mandatory. Now this is definitely a verification. So I will check this checkbox, and then I will go to the next one. So what you will do, I will add another step, and here I will mention, so you will definitely validate the mandatory fields. Now next one is selection of the field. So I will definitely select the configuration item. So I will mention select caller, any caller you want. Then you mention provide short description as this is a test. And the next one I can mention select the channel as email. And now I can just mention configuration item. So I will mention select the configuration item as. Now what I will do, I will definitely select the configuration item which has a support group. Let's say this one, BlackBerry. So I will copy this one and I will mention in my test case. So I will mention select the configuration item as BlackBerry. And here I will go to the next step now. So I will mention here assignment group should be auto populated with, and I can just check this capacity management. So I can just mention here that capacity management value should be populated. So I will mention here with assignment group should be auto populated with capacity management group. And you can just mention maybe like this. That's the name of the group. And this definitely a verification. So you are done. So as per the new requirement, you have mentioned the test case, and I can just save this. So this is saved, and I can also make it ready. So this is 100% ready because we don't have any other test case or any other requirement. Now, just to make sure that this is matching the acceptance criteria, the first acceptance criteria was that when you go to the incident module, create new, that CI and channel should be mandatory with caller and short description, which are already mandatory. So we basically met the acceptance criteria. Second acceptance criteria was that when you fill the details of incident form on a new incident form, and when you select the configuration item, then support group of that configuration item should be auto populated in assignment group. So this is the second. So we are basically matching both the acceptance criteria as part of our requirement. So now we can definitely run this as well. That means, which is kind of a confirmation that you have performed the testing. So let's say you have written the manual test case. So how you can run this? You click on this button, run, and maybe you can just mention a demo or testing. You can mention the environment. This is the environment for maybe development environment. So it is our dev instance, and I can just select development, and that's it. You want to put the URL, it's totally up to you. You can do that as well, but let me just submit this. So I have submitted, and I will just click on run, and you will see that how you can perform the testing as well. So if I go here, see it says impersonate as an ITIL user. I can do that. Go to incident module, create new caller. This should be mandatory. I can fail, pass, or block. So I can pass it, and then I go bottom. I will select the caller, provide short description, select the channel. I will select this BlackBerry, and I will just mention assignment group. I will see that if assignment group is populated, So I can definitely check that, and if it is done, then I can pass it or fail it if it doesn't pass. In that case, I can just click on done, and I am done with the testing. And I can also see the results in this test management 2.0. Here it says the results are passed. So whomsoever person, whomsoever tester, developer doing this testing, you can track those results in ServiceNow itself in test management 2.0. We have also created the manual test case of our demo requirement. Now we will create automated test case. So whatever test case we created manually, we will convert the same test case into automation, and that is also in automated test framework in ServiceNow. So let's see how you can automate a test case in ServiceNow in automated test framework, and how you can automatically test any feature you are developing in ServiceNow. So let's go to automated test framework. So I will just close these tabs, or maybe I will close this one as well. Let's close this one, and here I will go to automated test framework. So I will type automated test. So here we have automated test framework, which is an application in ServiceNow to perform automation testing. Now, how we are going to convert this? Let's see that. So for that, I will go to tests, and I will create a new test. So I will click on new, and here I will provide basically validate I am new form. This is the name I have given. I will click on save. Now we will provide the test steps. This is basically for automation. So I will basically click on add test step. It will provide me a lot of different categories of test step. In this case, first, we will definitely create a user. So I will select this, create a user. I will click on next, and I will provide the variables. So the first name will be, because I have to provide the details of that user which I want to create. So I will provide here ATF ITIL, and last name I can just mention user. And I think it's basically asking any other user field values. So maybe I can just definitely provide user ID, which is here. I will mention ATF.ITIL user. And I can provide the role as well, which will be ITIL. So I will just mention ITIL and lock this one. And I don't need to provide any other group. Yes, if you want to impersonate the same user, then you definitely check this checkbox as part of ATF creation, ATF step creation. So I will just mention this, and I will click on submit. So our first step is converted into automated test case. That means the previous one was in test management 2.0, impersonate ITIL user. So that is done. Now I will just add another step. I will click here. The next step was we have to open the new incident form. You can definitely do it by different ways. You can directly navigate to the navigator, basically to module directly. So here we have this navigate to module. I click on next, and I can select the module. So I can just mention create new, and maybe I will just click on here because I want to see where that create news in what, because create new module is available in a lot of tables. So we definitely want on incident. So if I type here, so we have this one, create new. So I will select this one, and I will submit this. So I'm done. This is the second test case conversion. And then I will just go to next step. What exactly? So it will open the new form automatically and I can directly validate the fields. So I will go to form and here we have form field state validation. So I will select. So basically in order to check mandatory fields, read-only fields, you always need to use this field state validation. So I will click on next. And I will also show you that how exactly this test will run. So it will open the standard UI. That's totally fine. Incident. And here, I think I don't want to add all these test cases for visibility and all, because this is something you can definitely do, but it's an out of the box form. So I'm not touching as of now because this is my just first development. So I'm just focusing what kind of customization I have done. I'm just creating test case for that. So I will just mention mandatory. So here I will mention caller is mandatory and I will mention channel is mandatory. So where is channel? I will just select channel. Yeah, so we have channel here. I will mention configuration item is mandatory and short description as well. So I will just log them. So these are the fields which should be mandatory. So I will submit this. So this is done. Now you can also, if you want, like if you really want people to understand, because a lot of people who are maybe not technical, they might not understand these test cases in ServiceNow. So there's a field here called nodes. If you want to use that, you can also use it. So for example, I can just mention that impersonate ITIL user. And even here, I'm just navigate to module. So I can just go to create new under incident application. And even this one, validate if CI and channel fields are mandatory. Other fields are I definitely want to validate. It's up to you if you want to write that or not. So I have mentioned this. Now I will basically go for our next requirement. So we have converted the whole test case for our first requirement. Now I will move to second one. So I will click on this add test step, and here I will basically select. So I will set the field value. So I will set field value. I will click on next, and here I will set the value of configuration item. So if I do this, let me just cancel this first. I will just select configuration item. If I do this, yes, configuration item, and I can just directly select BlackBerry. So we have BlackBerry, and I can select short description, maybe short description. I will mention this is a test. I will select caller as maybe able tutor, and I will select channel as maybe email, and that's it. So now I will just submit it. So once it will select the configuration item, I will validate that value in assignment group. So that is field values validation. So I will go next, and then I can just mention here assignment group is, and that is if I go to here, that's capacity management. I can just mention this one. So it is selected. So it should check that assignment group is capacity management. I will just mention timeout for 20 seconds and I'll just click on submit. Now let's see if it fails or pass. Overall, we have converted our both the requirements into automated test case. So it will validate field values. Here it will validate mandatory fields. So now I will run this and this will run in a client runner. So I will click on run. It will open this and I will click on run test. Let's see what happens. So it is running the test. So our client runner is opened. It will create a new user first. So you will keep on seeing, see, it has created the ATF idle user. It is navigating to that module. See, we have all these fields mandatory. Yes, that is passed. And now it's validating the field values. Now it will try to populate. See, yes, it has populated assignment group. So it should definitely pass this test case. And if I will go here, 100% guys, it is successfully tested. That means we have 100% converted the manual test case into automation. And I can just click on go to results and it will show me the whole flow that it created the user, success, navigated, validated, set the field values and also validated the assignment group. That's how you can do automation testing. Now, one thing you have to remember that why exactly we do these kind of testing. So let's say you have 100 requirements, 100 Jira's story, and after 6 months or maybe after multiple releases of ServiceNow, you definitely want to make sure that your existing features are working properly. So that is overall considered as a regression. So you want to make sure that you run an automated regression by clicking one button, which is run test, and it basically validates all the features, all the customization which you have done in ServiceNow on top of base ServiceNow system. And then you can validate that and it will make sure that after any further development, even if you're adding one development, you will just make sure after running the whole regression, all the test cases, all the main features of the platform or that particular module to make sure that nothing is broken. So that's how you perform development and testing in ServiceNow. So next time when you perform the development, make sure you convert that development requirement into a manual test case. Or sometimes people also just ignore manual test case or directly create automated test case. So you can also try that. But overall, the goal is you need to have a test case, be it manual or automation. However, I will definitely recommend you should always go for automation because automation should be there in the system. It will definitely ease your work because you can validate a lot of development in just one click and basically with the help of automation. So thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.